Extremely heavy rains across the Philippines today. You can see here on the radar imagery. Well, the showers continue to come down. This has led for the government to really suspend all classes from much of northwestern Luzon, extending down into the Manila metro area from elementary and preschool all the way up to college level classes have been suspended for Monday because the heavy rains have been coming down rather persistent. The monsoonal inflow wrapping around, well, Tropical Storm Maring or Trami, lingering there just of Taiwan. And actually, if you pull back the picture here, looking at the satellite imagery for the entire Western Pacific, you can see the center of circulation is actually off here towards the northeast of Luzon. Well, that monsoonal flow extending all the way down here towards the south, that moisture inflow, the heavy showers, well, it reminds me a lot of Haikui, which hit this area about the same time last year. It caused some very severe flooding. These images actually coming out of the Manila area from James Reynolds when he went to there to shoot the footage of just this extremely heavy rain and flooding. Now, I don't think this is going to be as bad as that, but there is a pretty serious risk because this storm system is going to be lingering in the same area here just towards the east of Taiwan through not just Monday but Tuesday, even out towards Wednesday. While doing so, it is still going to be dragging in this moisture across the area, so you're going to be continuing to see heavy rains, a continued risk of severe flooding, mudslides out here. Also, we're looking at very rough seas in and around the Luzon area just due to those winds continuing to kick up through the coming days. Now, this is the official track from the Japan Meteorological Agency here on Trami, and they really do expect it to intensify, possibly up to severe tropical storm. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center does expect it to become a typhoon as well, and really just going off here towards the east, it starts to make a northward progression. We have the remnants of our tropical depression farther here towards the west as well, plus a high pressure ridge right in here. So the obvious track is going to be it looping back around and steering back here towards the west, following behind this low and south of that high pressure ridge. So it should stay south of Okinawa, given the forecast track at this time. But granted, you're still inside of the cone of air here, and I wanted to go through actually the GFS model run here because it actually takes those strongest of the winds relatively close to the southern Japanese islands. So let's loop ahead here, if we can finally get this put on. Let's loop ahead here throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. So on Monday going into Tuesday, we're going to see a gradual intensification of this storm system as it lives off there towards the north, becoming a severe tropical storm. But let's look ahead towards Wednesday as it starts to pull back towards the west, because you see that center of circulation actually move relatively close to the southern Japanese islands here. I mean, really specifically Okinawa definitely is going to be moving closer to Ishigaki and Miyakojima. But pull up the precipitation for the same time period. We can see some of this rainfall really wrapping around this storm system. And that's key. It's going to have to wrap around because along the northern periphery, we're actually seeing drier inflow. So you're going to be seeing a lot more heavy rains farther down there towards the south into Luzon, which at this time we see here by, Tuesday night. You're continuing to see that heavy showers even around the Manila metro area. Drier, though, towards the north. Let's pull up the relative humidity for the same time here. And the reason why I'm going to pull this up is because you can see where those dry slarts are on up here towards the north. You still have that moisture down there coming off the South China Sea. That's going to continue to push in. Let's continue to look ahead, though, going into Wednesday and Thursday with this relative humidity outlook. And, well, really the key thing, you can see these areas in green kind of pushing a little bit farther there towards the north, and that's indicating the increasing of the moisture. So I think the worst of the weather, at least for Okinawa, is probably going to be on Tuesday into Wednesday. You're going to be seeing those gusty winds, especially the waves down there towards the south. Then those showers are going to continue to shift off there towards the west by Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours, really impacting you there into Taiwan. All the while, though, like I said at the start of this, unfortunately for you there in the Philippines, especially along the west coast, it seems kind of weird because the storm's actually off the east coast, but it is the west coast where we're having this moisture inflow. You're going to still see the flooding, and we can even see here that dry slot towards the north, the heavy moisture towards the south on this visible/infrared imagery on Trami. But just like we said earlier today, if you are down here towards the south, into the southern Japanese islands, you are going to see some high waves out of this, up to 4 to 5 meters high. Some areas could see about 6 meters. So not a day to venture out to the beach, not a day to get in any small crafts here on Monday, Tuesday, even out through Wednesday. It should start to taper off, though, by Wednesday as far as the weather here before it shifts off there towards Taiwan. And then you're going to be seeing the high waves there in the northern Taiwan, plus the heavy rainfall, especially by most of the day here on Wednesday. if the forecast is to hold true. And that's the other key thing I really want to stress. There is a wide variety in the model ranges. We know that it's going to loop off there towards the north, go towards the west, but exact location, it's a little bit vague at this time. Example, look at the size of the cone of air here from JMA. It's just absolutely massive, so the center of circulation is kind of hard to tell at this time. What I can say, though, it is going to move towards the west, plus the intensity is a little hard to forecast. Some models are picking up onto typhoon strength. I think typhoon strength is possible out of this. Not to mention, we have so much moisture down here towards the south, so some extremely heavy rains. This storm is a big rainmaker. That's what we've been saying all along, and that is exactly what's happening, especially for western Luzon. So like I said, class is suspended. If you don't have to go out and about on Monday, try not to stay indoors. This is no typhoon, but it's just the persistent rainfall. It's going to continue to cause some severe flooding out here across the northern Philippines. Pagasa already has been putting out warnings on this tropical storm Maring or Trami. So that is all on that one right now. Continue to watch it all the way from northern Luzon, Taiwan, southern Japanese islands. Looks like southern Japanese islands, you are going to miss the bulk of it, but if it does lift a little bit farther towards the north, like I said, you could get impacted by this as well. Also been seeing some extremely heavy rains in northern Hokkaido or southern Hokkaido, northern Japan, up to about 250 millimeters in the past 24 hours here. 6 people were injured. High school club, a bunch of tents went flying, injured them off here towards the north. Some news there. But I think the other big topic today, not really weather related, more geology, is what had happened here into western Japan. In Kyushu, Sakurajima really blew its top. Some incredible video and photos coming out of there. Go to the website, check it out. This is actually from last January, that video there. But if you click under the footage tab, it'll pull up some of the footage that is currently being shown out of this area. And well, you can see here, it just looks like snow falling, but that is ash, and just a really incredible story going on right here. Oh, and one other thing, I saved this for last, least important, but it's there. We have our severe tropical storm Pewa out here. It just came across the 180 line. This is not going to impact any land areas. Most likely scenario, or any major land areas, Wake Island's going to be in front of this, but it's only about 150 military on that island, U.S. military, all concrete buildings, nothing to worry about. It is expected to continue to intensify through the forecast, though, so that's interesting. But by the time it gets a little bit farther here towards the west, it's going to loop off towards the north. Very unlikely it's going to impact anybody out here across much of Eastern Asia. I've seen some people actually worried about it there in the Philippines. That's not going to happen at all. Oh, and while you're on the website here at Western Pacific Weather, check out everything else. Check out the Tropical Information Center. Mike Adcocks put out a video today. Also, April Ferez, she's going to be putting out a video or a text update either tonight or into Monday morning. Plus, we have all this information, everything I talked about on here. So lots of stuff going on. And really can't put it all into a video less than 10 minutes. So please do go to the website and check all of that out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there.